What's up, world? Welcome back to Charge the Game podcast, and we have to discuss the Milwaukee Bucks as Giannis Antetokounmpo and Damian Lillard seem to just not be working, in my opinion. I don't know if it's the offensive style and less defensive play, or if it's just the head coach in Doc Rivers or in the coach that they had before. Like, it may just be an off season. But from the outside looking in, the way that the Milwaukee Bucks are playing, something's off in the organization, man. Like something. And we all know that a huge piece of this is the Jrue Holiday trade. Because wherever you place Jrue Holiday, you just have a chance because of his hustle, his defense, and his on the court IQ. And when they took that chess piece off the board and traded it away to the Boston Celtics, it's no wonder that the Celtics, I'm not saying that Jrue Holiday is the system for the Celtics, but when you add a guy who is a true workhorse and it lightens your load, it allows you to perform and do the things that your skill set allows you to be great. And I believe that, yes, it's flashy to have Damian Lillard, but sometimes when I'm watching Dame, it just doesn't look like his heart is there. It just doesn't. And a lot of that could be because Dame Lillard truly wanted to remain with the Portland Trail Blazers because his heart was there. The feel of it just felt right. And I'll be honest with you guys, I probably have watched 3 Milwaukee Bucks games just because it just doesn't look as thrilling and exciting as I thought it would. I thought that the coach prior to that, we understand that maybe him and some of the players were bumping heads, but I feel like he had a better grip on this thing than Doc Rivers. And that's another thing, man. This whole Doc Rivers situation, I think that his voice around the league is I know he's a player's coach, but I just think that his voice around the league can kind of be bland sometimes. Sometimes you can probably get tired of it. I have never played for Coach Rivers, but I just feel like at some point, I don't know. It's something about that guy that I just kind of feel like I will kind of get tired of, and it'll stop stimulating me and engaging me and bringing the best out of me. And that's not Doc Rivers' fault. I think that he did a great job being a commentator. I think that his days as a head coach are more behind him than in front of him. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's just sometimes juice runs out. You haven't looked like the Doc Rivers since that great Celtics championship run with KG, Ray Allen, and Paul Pierce. And the Milwaukee Bucks have major issues. They do. We know that they suck on defense, so they got to get some type of stopper, perimeter stopper, to go out there and help them, because what they're displaying is straight boo-boo, straight trash. It's already a boring-ass uniform sometimes to me. We all know that Milwaukee doesn't get the attention that they deserve, especially with a superstar like Giannis in the mix. But who knows, maybe these guys will come alive in time before, the playoff. This is the All-Star break. Give the team time to reset and adjust. Give coaches time to go and look at the drawing board and see which lineups work the best and what lineup brings the best out of each of those players, right? And Doc Rivers has to champion this thing because it's not looking good on his behalf. I'm just being honest. It's crazy how many players came out in the media and were against Doc Rivers being hired. Like, they were talking smack about this guy, not giving him any respect. I saw Gilbert Arenas. All you guys know that this man, Gilbert Arenas, is no chill Gil, so he really doesn't care. And he lets it be known. But Doc Rivers is doubted by a lot of people in the media. A lot of people from the 76ers organizations had negative things to say about him. And I think that it was a panic move out of desperation. But there's a common saying of you get what you pay for, right? And right now you hired a coach, probably gave him a nice cheap deal, and he was not ready. He was literally commentating and talking about games, being a sports analyst, and now he's back in the coaching mix. And I don't think that he had enough time to sharpen his skill set to get a better gauge of the team. And honestly, sometimes when you're offered a job, man, you got to ask yourself, does this make sense for me to do? I don't think it made sense for the organization or Doc Rivers to agree to do this. I think that it was panic and desperation. There were plenty of other coaches I feel like would have been more suitable for Giannis Antetokounmpo and Dame Lillard to manage those superstar mindsets. We'll get into this report as it says Giannis Antetokounmpo says Bucks need urgency after disappointing Grizzlies loss. Grizzlies lost without a Ja Morant. That's what got me, man. Like, how in the hell did that happen, man? Like, superstars fail to realize that they can get got in any given night, right? Just like the Celtics took the Lakers for granted and got smashed the second lineup. Austin Reeves took them boys down without a LeBron James and without an Anthony Davis. So it can very much happen. It depends on any given team and any given night. It goes on to say that the Milwaukee Bucks are 3-7 since Doc Rivers took over as coach and heads into the All-Star break with major questions still to be answered. Now, the only thing about this is I want to kind of panic, but I don't want to overly panic because I overly panicked with the Clippers when they signed James Harden. I never thought it would work. I did not know how it would work. You know, Russell Westbrook was playing great starting basketball. Kawhi Leonard is finally healthy. PG is finally healthy, right? And you got James Harden adding that to the mix. And these guys have taken the league by storm the last few games. So I'm not going to give up on them just because their record indicates that they're kind of trash right now, because anything can happen. And the playoffs haven't even started. It goes on to say more than an hour after a shocking loss to Memphis Grizzlies on Thursday, Giannis Antetokounmpo sat in front of his locker, a pair of ice bags wrapped around his knees and a frustrated look on his face. We have to want it, Antetokounmpo said before heading towards the showers. We have to want it. If I'm psychoanalyzing this, I think that Giannis may start to grow frustration towards Dame Lillard. I'm telling you guys, it can happen, especially when you think that it's supposed to look a certain way and it's not looking the way that you thought it was, right? Because we all know that Giannis does a lot on the court. Yes, Dame Lillard is there, but what happens when you both are offensive mind-like? As age creeps in, Giannis will not be the defensive player he once was. That's how it is for all greats. LeBron James was like that. Kawhi Leonard was like that. Klay Thompson, eventually that age starts to weigh in and wear you down. And that's where you appreciate a Drew Holiday that you traded and gave away. And he really wanted it, Giannis. And you wanted Dame Lillard. So when you say we just have to want it, remember what you wanted to put you in this position to, be talking like this. And you wanted Dame Dollar. It goes on to say the matchup with Memphis offered Milwaukee Bucks an opportunity to go into the NBA All-Star break with some momentum. The Bucks had won 2 of their last 3 games with wins over Charlotte Hornets and Denver Nuggets, followed by a blowout loss to the Miami Heat. The Grizzlies, ravaged by injuries, had lost 9 of their last 10. It was Memphis, though, that played energized, outscoring Milwaukee 37-28 in the third quarter and holding on for a 113-110 win. That's what I mean, guys. Like, anything can happen, anything can happen when you guys play another team. These players will take things for granted. You catch a team on the right night and they catch fire and they start to believe these are going to be the results. And he is right for calling out the team. He is. But the organization has to do something because, man, I'm a big Giannis fan and I like to see him, compete. But I have my concerns. That's all I'm saying, guys. So Milwaukee Nation, Bucks, please don't be mad at me in this video. I love you guys. I think that you have an outstanding organization. I just think that right now the team has certain misfits that they have to figure out. It goes on to say, we have to have more urgency. I want to feel this urgency. Why I read this in his voice? I want to freaking feel this urgency. That's how he be talking. I don't say it for the team. I say it for myself. I want to feel this urgency. I want to go into this break with urgency. And at the end of the day, we have to admit we lost to Miami by 26 and we lost today. It doesn't matter by what we lost. It's what happened. From what happened, we have to have a little bit of urgency. And that's something that Doc Rivers is not good at. Honestly, he is not good at pulling out the urgency of players because he's more relatable than serious. If I'm a guy making multi-millions of dollars and you're a player's coach, and you typically are just a cool coach that kind of let things slide and let things get away from you because you don't want the superstars to be mad at you and you don't challenge them, then you're never going to be able to bring the best out of them. And that's Doc Rivers' niche. I don't know if other players feel this way, but that's just what I've seen over the years of him coaching. You need a certain type of coach that can champion this team, look them in their eyes, call them out on their BS, and make them perform better. Hard coaching is necessary because it brings out the best. And I think that neither one of these coaches are doing this for this team. Now, would it look bad on the organization to fire Doc? Yes. Now you stuck with a mediocre team right now in a mediocre season. So it's up to the players at this point. Doc Rivers could manage a KG, right? Kevin Garnett, Ray Allen, and Paul Pierce. But look at that old school mindset they had. Look at how KG still has rage in his heart when he talks in his podcast, when he's mad at these current players who are BSing and taking the league for granted. And that's something that he has worked his whole life for, given his life to, and is grateful for it. You can still see that passion in KG. Paul Pierce, even though Paul Pierce is all over the place in his shenanigans, Paul Pierce still to this day believes that he is the best, right? Ray Allen, he don't got to say much because the guy was just a legend at the three-pointer. So when you got those type of mindsets, you don't really have to pull out the best. You can just kind of manage personalities because they're already doing it for you. What happens in this new generation where these players are soft, can't yell at them, can't talk to them, and even in football now, it's all soft and shit. So now you have to deal with coaches who can cater to the superstars, kiss ass, and not challenge them. So be careful with what you ask for. Giannis Antetokounmpo is what I'm getting at. That's all I want to say about this, man. You guys weigh in and let me know your thoughts, your concerns. If you are a Bucks fan, let me know how you feel about this. Do you guys think that this organization is doing the right thing by keeping Doc Rivers, and are they heading into the direction that they should be, which is ultimately the NBA championship? Looks like the Celtics may be the top dogs in the East. You guys weigh in and let me know. If you guys like the content, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button. Also hit that notification bell so you guys can continue to get the latest when I drop my sport media takes. Thank you guys so much for the love and support. Like always, let me know how you charge the game. Peace.